Wait till you hear how my son took down fake cops at our cabin, trained by the FBI and ready for action. But before we jump in, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and don't miss more real stories that'll blow your mind. It was supposed to be a quiet weekend at the cabin. Just me, my 16-year-old son Jake, and the woods. No cell reception, no neighbors, just peace. Jake had been training hard. Martial arts, FBI youth program, even tactical awareness. But to me, he was still just my boy. We pulled up late Friday evening. The air smelled like pine and possibility. Jake unloaded the gear while I went to check the fuse box. Power was out again, typical for that place. We had no idea what was waiting. Around midnight, I heard tires on gravel. Not normal this far into the forest. Jake was asleep upstairs, but I checked the front window. Two men in fake-looking uniforms stepped out of a black SUV, flashlights in hand. They knocked hard. "Open up, county enforcement. This property is in violation," one of them said. County enforcement? At midnight? I knew something was off. I didn't open the door. Instead, I quietly woke Jake. "Something's wrong. Stay alert," I whispered. He nodded, instantly focused. They circled the house. One tried the back door. I grabbed the rifle, unloaded, but they didn't know that. When I shouted that we were armed and calling the sheriff, they backed off, at least for a moment. Then we heard glass shatter. Basement window. Jake didn't hesitate. He slipped down the stairs like a shadow. I wanted to stop him, but I saw it in his eyes. Calm, ready. I followed slowly, but by the time I got down, it was over. One of the fake cops was groaning on the floor, wrist bent the wrong way. Jake had taken him down with a single controlled move. The other guy burst in, yelling. Jake didn't wait. He ducked under the man's swing, spun, and swept his legs out. The guy hit the concrete like a sack of bricks. I stood there in shock. My son, my quiet, always smiling son, just disabled two grown men like he was in a movie. He tied their hands with rope we used for firewood. "They're not cops," he said, checking their fake badges. "No IDs, no radios. This was a planned grab." I called the real sheriff with our emergency satellite phone. It took them over an hour to arrive. Turned out the HOA back in town had hired private thugs to scare us off the land. Long story, property line disputes, legal threats, all nonsense. But this time, they went too far. They didn't know the kid they tried to kidnap was already training to protect this country. Jake sat back on the porch that night, sipping hot cocoa like nothing happened. "Told you those drills would come in handy," he said with a grin. And I just nodded, thankful. Not just for his training, but for who he was becoming. The quiet cabin weekend didn't go as planned, but it showed me something deeper. My son wasn't just ready for the world, he was ready to defend it.